The audience from the stairwell?
Yeah, you can go there. That's fine.
Can I do it too?
Yes. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. I'll see you later.
Emily, then go say hi and come right back.
Can you sing that again?
Dinner theater is viewed by a lot of professional actors is a little less legitimate than normal, prestigious theater on a stage.
What is dinner theater? Not movie quality? It's like the underbelly of the theater world, I suppose.
Dinner theater to professional actors means fear.
Dinner theater is the poor cousin of professional actors. They kind of look down on it.
Say, oh yes, I'm a professional actor. I work in dinner theater.
How can I nicely put this? It's considered to be below average quality theater in most circles.
Being a murder mystery dinner theater actor is one of the lowest forms of acting that one can do. With the exception of mimes and birthday clowns. You have mimes, which are at the bottom of the barrel, then you have birthday clowns, which are slightly above that, and then you have murder mystery dinner theater actors.
The reality is it's a lot harder to do dinner theater. It's a lot harder to do a murder mystery. It's a lot harder to do improvisational comedy where you're only 3 feet away from the audience.
Yeah, we hand out these, they're clue sheets, and they're also questionnaires to see how people like the show.
A lot of the questionnaires that we get back from people that have just seen the show can be really mean sometimes.
Did you like it, dislike it? That's a stupid for dummies one.
We get that a lot.
So you guys stink, not funny, stupid.
Jokes suck. Actors suck. They should be paying for acting lessons. Stuff like that.
You know, they'll be like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen, or like, it didn't make any sense, or like, what mystery? You know, people will write things like that.
There are no real clues. There is no real motive. We just kind of made the whole thing up.
But a lot of them are bad food, too expensive.
Most of the people who don't like us, it's because we're too corny or they didn't like the food service, oddly enough. Because they don't know that the questionnaire is just about us. They think it's about the whole event, including the food.
So the clue sheets end up being just kind of like toilet paper.
The crowds can be really tough sometimes. You never know what kind of crowd you're performing to.
The worst audiences you can have are tweens. They're the worst.
Teenagers.
They don't pay attention. They're too cool for anything. You're a dork and a geek, and that's it. And they're only interested in listening to the Lady Gaga.
Teenagers are definitely, in my opinion, the hardest audiences.
Teens can be very difficult.
We do our best, but sometimes they hate you, and they'll just make the decision to hate the show. Nope, I hate it, and you can't do anything about that. You can just put your head down, put your shield in front of you, and march. That's all you can do.
A lot of the jokes that we use in the show, we actually test out on each other to make sure that they're, quote-unquote good enough for our shows. Some of them, pass the test. They pass the bar.
I almost had a psychic girlfriend once.
What happened?
She left me before we met. Oh, they get worse. I'm very sorry about your boat.
No! Shit, Sherlock.
Oh!
And that's how I got this!
Oh!
Dun, dun.
Damn, they're good.
We should be paying them. Other ones, they get hit with the bar. If you had something to say and you thought of something funny, you could say, "Hey, Brian," and I say, "What?" And then you would say, "Why the chicken cross the road?" And I said, "I don't know why. To get away from North Korea's missile range."
Well, I'm thinking if it's a communion thing, we could do communion jokes.
Because North Korean missiles, they're not really that good. They can't get across the road.
They get across the.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't give that enough credit.
I had to explain that one.
I'm sorry. I didn't let that land enough. That is a funny joke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
very funny. It wasn't. I'm not in laughing mode right
That's okay. Oh, I didn't know that there was a
funny.
mode.
It's funny. Sorry, man. That's a good one.
Thanks.
I like that one.
Now I'm gonna
Why
need you.
couldn't Margaret Thatcher go outside in an electrical storm?
I don't know why.
Because Iron Ladies conduct light dance. And she would have died. And then the unions in England would have been more powerful. And then my great-great-grandfather would have had a job longer.
Does this train of thought have a caboose?
No, it doesn't.
I didn't think so.
It ends with me just giving a long lecture on why Margaret Thatcher was bad for the European economy.
You are a stand-up comedian, right? You're like successful.
No, not even a little bit. And this is why. Some people shouldn't tell jokes.
We tell toilet humor jokes, which are my least favorite.
Potty humor is always safe. You can get away with that with kids and with grown-ups, with seniors.
And he makes the flatulent jokes after he's just told us, don't make those flatulent jokes.
Too many toilet jokes, if you can read it.
Astrophysics.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Did you just fart?
Baby stuff, excrement, fashion, weather, and
excrement?
food. Yep, they'll love that one because it's about poop. They love poop. Kids love poop.
Parents are gonna love that too.
Yeah, well.
You can make like 3 poop jokes in a show before they're not funny anymore, and I always count backstage, and when we get to that 4th one, I'm like, it's not funny. It doesn't even matter if it was set up better than the other ones, it's been ruined because of the sheer volume of poop jokes.
Please, we've done worse jokes than that all the time.
I usually have a lot of costume changes, and when I have a lot of costume changes, typically I have at least 1 or 2 wardrobe malfunctions during a show.
Longer. Hey, here's something you don't see a hang guy doing.
One particular time I was playing a female character, and I had a boob fall out of my costume. It was a soccer ball, and it hit the ground, and I had to, go down and cover it up real quick and stick it back into my costume. That kind of stuff happens often. But that's not really the battle. The real battle is backstage. Getting dressed, doing a tech, and getting out on stage, all within a very short amount of time. During a typical show, I'm constantly running around backstage. Not only am I, stripping down and then getting redressed really quickly, I also have to do all the sound and video cues, find all my props, then run out on stage, do my scene, come back, and do it all over again 3 or 4 times during a show. And by the end of the show, I'm ready to collapse. There is so much more that goes into a show. The acting and the rehearsing, that's the easy part. That's what everybody sees. What people don't see is the business part.
This is a viable money-generating engine. It's not just a hobby that makes some bucks every once in a while. It's a real successful money-generating engine, and that's the test for a business. It doesn't matter if it's a theater. It doesn't matter that you're a sculptor or a painter. At the end of the day, you can't whine and complain and bitch that you're not making money. If you want to have a business, the business needs to be there to generate money. If it can't generate money, that's it. It's not a business. End of story. At the end of the day, in order to be competitive, you can't pay too many people, so it requires a person that can be an actor, can be a writer, can be a salesperson, can be a A website designer can be everything. A prop builder. Yeah, one person has to be able to do it all because that's why it's a family business. You know, you bring your kids up in it and they learn the trade as they get older. That's how I knew everything. I mean, I grew up with my dad's thing, so I learned everything as I saw him doing it. It obviously gave me a big leg up.
Well, working from home, you know, has its benefits, but it has its tough things too. Well, I mean, the storage issues are major. We have a couple storage units, and you know, you just open the door, and you know, the oxygen is sucked out of you. It's just filled with so much crap and junk. Well, I mean, besides the storage units, I mean, we got a basement full of junk. We got my living room's full of junk. We got a dining room that's not a dining room; it's a bunch of junk. My van has to be loaded because if it's not loaded, there's no place to unload it. And my backyard is no patio furniture. It's covered with pieces of set and wood and a broken wagon and all kinds of shit back there. Yeah, well, a lot of times, I mean, the stuff is so buried so deep that you can't, you try to pull everything out, you take a week, so you just literally have to start climbing, like a rock climber, a yodeler. You're climbing over your equipment, try not to break things, but sometimes you do anyway, and to pull out what you need for a show.
This is what we do for customers to make sure they have a good show.
Another one of the problems with Ryan working from home is that he's got this kid that constantly screams in the background. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear somebody was getting tortured in his basement.
You know, my son is only 3.5, and like everybody that has kids know, you know, they want to get involved in what you're doing. They want to interrupt you. They want you to play blocks and trains. And yeah, sometimes he gets a little crazy.
Somebody just called me. Kidding me.
I have no idea how he gets any work done.
My dad and his cats. As long as I can remember, my dad has loved his cats, always.
When it comes to cats, my dad has a strange, possibly sexual fascination with cats.
Me, I just love cats, and they love me right back.
I know it's gotten him into trouble before with Ryan, with feeding the cats.
And I've asked him 1,000 times to please get rid of these cats, and he lies and says he will, and then he doesn't. You know, I see him sneaking around feeding them. He
at times did use dishes of mine to feed the cats that were not meant for the cats.
Can't bear to see an animal, you know, being abused or suffering. I just have to feed him. I've gotten in trouble for that, but to hell with it.
Wait a minute, don't miss this. This is my father's cat hut that he built.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh yeah. You know, you can't have a set storage facility without a place to have frickin' feral cats. See, there's one right there on the fence. See? He has to have a place for these freaking animals to get out of here! See, I can't even store my sets without this. Look at this shit. God knows what the fuck's in there. Jesus Christ.
Now, there is a cat issue at Ryan's house. I mean, there's a lot of them now.
We just can't have cats at the new house.
There are snakes. What are we gonna do? Bring these guys with me? There's not gonna be.
Shoot them.
We got
Don't
snakes.
you have a gun? You have a shotgun. That'll kill them quick, mercilessly.
I'm not too loud. Too loud.
Well, all right. Could you poison them, maybe?
Yeah, let's go back. Let Brian do it.
With you could use antifreeze. I think that they like that.
Not that dumb.
Just get a welding glove and a box cutter. Just, you know, get them real quick.
Welding glove and a...
They won't let you get that. They won't let you get that close.
You know, like some people, they just hate cats. They hate them. They're weird.
Is this what you consider good TV? This is good television?
Anytime you're killing cats is good TV.
With a boss turner welding glove.
Why don't you kill other people? Something that's going to help.
You get so defensive talking about animals, man.
Brian, you're talking about killing them. Who's got a bigger problem?
Dad, you're talking about killing people.
Yeah!
That's okay.
Who's got a bigger problem?
Animals are...
Once you're part of the Riddlesbrood, you know, it's kind of like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave.
Being a home-based business is very difficult in some respects because you can never truly come home from work. You're always constantly surrounded by people you work with.
Went through a time in my life where I went through a horrible divorce. I was literally cheated out of millions of dollars. I was left with no money, nowhere to live. Ryan and Shannon, who were kind enough to take me in because I had nowhere to go. And like anything else, you can wear out your welcome. I mean, they have a family, they have a kid, and all of a sudden this person is living with them.
We just moved back from Las Vegas. My father was still living with Ryan, and they have a brand new baby at home that they're trying to take care of and work full time. And I know things were getting really, really crazy. My dad was going through the divorce, and things were very stressful, and he sort of told him he had to move out.
So I was kind of made to feel like, you know, well, this wasn't supposed to be permanent. You know, you really, you know, can't stay here.
So after he moved out of Ryan's house, he moved in with us. So it was a very, very crowded household. There was pregnant me, my husband Rob, my sister Serena, her 2 cats, and our dog. Fast forwarding all the way to the end of the year, we have to move out, and we're all moving in with other family members. Rob and I are moving in with his parents because we just don't have the money to live on our own with a brand new baby, to say the least. And then Serena and her boyfriend are moving in with their parents to save them money. So that kind of leaves my dad as the odd man out.
They all had a place to go. I didn't.
Finding a place for my dad to go was really, really difficult. He just kept saying over and over again that he was going to be homeless, and I was insisting he wouldn't, but no one else seemed to be helping me find him a place to go.
But eventually he found this place, and he was going to move in, but then it didn't work out.
But it ended up being the Bates Motel.
It turned out to be crazy. She said to get out, don't even move any more of your stuff in, get the heck out.
I was there one night, just one night.
This woman was psychotic, and we had no idea when we first met her. And I feel awful for putting him in there with her.
The woman just went insane. She went absolutely insane and demanded that I leave.
It's Labor Day weekend, and most families are at barbecues or just having a good time, not moving their dad out of a crazy lady's house. I remember just afterwards when we left, we have his stuff in several different cars, and he just keeps saying, just throw it out, I don't care what happens to it. And these are his personal belongings, his guitar, his plants that he loves, everything. And he says, just throw it out, get rid of it.
All the bridges are burned. I have nowhere to go. I have no one to stay with. Everybody else is going to their separate corners. So I had a complete meltdown.
And at one point he said he was just going to lay in front of the truck and he just wanted us to run him over. And, you know, my mother was there and she said, fine, go ahead, we'll do it. She's calling his bluff because she just says, you know, Ronnie, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of your belly aching. And he is, oh, shut up, Sue. And the two of them were just going at it, and it was just way too much like my childhood that I remember.
My life just crashed beyond recognition.
We had to put him in a hotel for the night, and at that point he had just gone into the deep end mentally. He just thought his life was over, and
so he had to go to a hotel, and all his stuff was sitting on the corner. It was a really bad mess.
Here it is, Labor Day weekend. Everywhere else, families are barbecuing and having a grand old time. And meanwhile, my father is stuck in a hotel room by himself. No money, no family, no nothing.
Completely miserable, you know, totally depressed, you know.
That night alone, you have no idea. That was an awful day. It was such an awful, awful dark day.
Life was just not worth living.
You know, I really thought he was going to kill himself.
I was really afraid for him that night. I didn't know what he was going to do left on his own. I was really scared.
And eventually I got a phone call and I realized I had to pick them up. And I had to pick them up, bring them back to the house.
So there is a saying that it's always darkest just before the light, and that ended up being true in our case because Ryan, thank God, he stepped up to the plate and he said that my dad can come and stay with them.
So what could have been a disaster has really turned into a happy ending. I mean, where I am now in this house and with my family, it's a better life than I've ever had. You know, it's like the phoenix rising out of the ashes.
Oh, he's just so much happier now. He is in this place that's practically a garden. It's huge. So he's got all of his plants there. He's got this big garden and a fish pond to tend to. There's also a bunch of little stray cats that he's named and feeds and loves them. He's got his own room, all his books, he can decorate, he's got his photos out, and he's just doing really, really well there. He's very happy.
My health is improving and my soul is improving, and I have the best family that anybody could ever have. So this story has a happy ending.
Oh, apocalypse? More like a pock of shit.
There was a lot of confusion in our show Apocalypse. Well, actually, all of our shows in general.
What the heck was Apocalypse about? And that, I think we're still trying to figure out what was it about.
Well, it's hard for me to answer exactly what Apocalypse was about because, unfortunately, what it was a stew.
Okay, the show was about the end of the world.
It was, hey, let's take every kind of meat from every animal we ever dreamed of and throw it in a grinder, and whatever came out, that was Apocalypse.
It was a disaster. It was horrible.
The show was also about a troupe of actors playing a troupe of actors experiencing the end of the world.
It was a lot like polishing a turd.
But what really happened was nobody knew what the hell was going on. It was so complicated and convoluted. You know, we left the audience, I think, with a cerebral hemorrhage when the show was over.
All right, so at one point in Apocalypse, we had a very big dance number in which this little girl had to hold up our My Encounter stone. It was a big deal for her because she was singled out holding up this big prop, and she didn't even know, but she was holding it up backwards the entire time. And it looks great from the front if you see it. It's got this face, it lights up, fiber optics and stuff. And from the back, it's a trash can lid with wires.
I'll be honest with you, I still don't know what Apocalypse was originally supposed to be.
Okay, so we did one of our Apocalypse show at Breezy Point, which is a show about the end of the world.
Right from the get-go, the show was cursed.
Now, we were supposed to show up with microphones, and the guy got really pissed because I didn't have microphones, and he paid for microphones, and the microphones weren't there, and I made up a bullshit story and to try and get around it. And my guys was quickly foiled because we obviously didn't have microphones.
The show was not very well received that day.
You could feel the hate. You really could feel the hate. And they hated us.
It was so bad that the audience actually, some of them felt bad for us. And I went into the bathroom after the show, and these two ladies started talking to me, and they were like, you know, like, you guys, we could tell you were trying as hard as you could, but, you know, like, just, like, what happened up there? And then they were saying how they had seen one of our shows before, and how this was just so much worse than that other show, and how they, you know, had hoped it would be more like that other show.
They didn't want us there anymore. They wanted to kill us. I thought we were going to get stuff thrown at us, like sharp objects.
And the thing that's really messed up is, like, you know, maybe like a week later was when Hurricane Sandy hit, and that entire town was destroyed and, like, mostly burnt to the ground. So it was really ironic that we did this show called Apocalypse in their fire hall, and then, like, a week later the entire town was just destroyed. So the show was pretty much cursed, I think.
We actually did it. The world ended for all of us on the stage doing that show. Quite literally.
There was a lot of things that went wrong with Apocalypse.
Well, Apocalypse ended up being, as the title suggests, it was the end of the world. And it happened, and we all died on stage.
Okay. Then along comes Robin Hood, which was another big stage production show, which we shouldn't be doing. And it wasn't much better than Apocalypse, but at least it did have a storyline.
We're on our way to do a show at the Strand. And we're going to leave them stranded.
Wait, are you going with us, Ron?
He is going with us.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I hate to disappoint you.
Tensions were real high during Robin Hood. There were a lot of things that were going wrong. And the writer was just really getting very angry at a lot of things. So what happened with Jeff?
I go back and get.
Oh, I know what happened. Eric tried to check. He was goofing around wearing some funny hat. I don't know why.
on the couch.
Is that where you got that octopus mask?
Yes, the oud.
What
It was an
was
oud.
that?
It's an oud. I got this really cool. It's like a knit cap.
I've seen that.
And it's an oud, and it had the tentacles and a brain, and it comes with a little thing you can pin it right here for an oud. And I almost left the show because of that thing. Because for a joke, I wore it during the rehearsal.
I looked on stage and I'm like, what is on his face?
And Ryan comes up and says, "Okay, I've got some notes," and so he gives us some notes. I've taken the mask off before the curtain call, and I threw it onto the prop table.
I'm gonna have a couple quick notes.
And Eric, the
writer, yeah, is that right?
goes. He walks over, picks up my mask, and I go, "Excuse me, that's mine." He goes, "Oh, I know," and he starts walking away with it.
Yeah, and then we had these two grown men like chasing each other, and it was just bad. It was just a bad scene. It was embarrassing.
And I'm like, "Excuse me, that's mine. I want that back." And he goes, "Oh, you'll get it back after the show." And I was like, "Dude, if you do not give me that, I'm not in the show. I'm leaving now."
He didn't say that nicely, actually. We're all giving notes on the stage.
Yeah.
And out comes him, like, red face, practically drooling at the mouth. "I'm gonna quit if you don't give that back." We're all like, what?
What you guys do?
You give that back to me right now, or I leave the show.
Wait, what's going on? There's no time for this.
That's it. I'm out of the show. I'm gone.
Well, you're not wearing it in the show.
No, he will not take that from me. I will leave the show now if I do not get that back now.
Let the little
You
kids
do not do that.
I didn't think he was wearing it in the show. He was just joking around. All right. Listen, there's another thing too. There's one place where the fairies come out. Okay, the fairies come out, and then you.
And yes, I would have left. That would have been it. I would have left the show. Absolutely. I was like, no, you don't do that. I was having a joke, just having some fun, just trying to lighten the mood, just a little silliness in there for a dress rehearsal, keep everybody on their toes. Not the first time it's happened.
And won't be the last.
Nope. But no, I will never work on a show that he's involved with.
I don't blame you.
As long as he gets out.
God save us from a dedicated amateur. You've seen it? You don't like it? It's ugly. It's ugly when they do that stuff.
And the writer got really pissed off at me when I started to videotape him, and he started to chase after me.
There's less time for it to fall off. Did you want to talk to me?
Yeah. Just go away.
Brian, stop.
I'm serious. Go.
Brian! Go! I need it, Brian. Go. Cut it out.
This is great.
Yeah, that's great. Real funny.
And he basically just came at me. He just ran down the aisle at me. I actually thought I was going to get hit, so I'm trying to run backwards while he's running at me. So that was pretty interesting. Eric is a very strange man. He's kind of like a Bigfoot. He's very unexplainable. The author gets very angry.
Water over there on his
He's a little on edge today.
So the very first day that I met Eric, he started referring to me as the Queen of the Fairies, and Lori was the beautiful Lorelei, later to be known as the Fairest of Flowers.
When I first met Eric, I thought that he was, a little eccentric, but like in the way that every artist, writer, performer is. I don't feel that way as strongly now. I definitely have seen that he is weirder than the average amount of weird that type of person has. And on my birthday, he sent me a weird picture of my face pasted onto a half-naked fairy's body that said happy birthday, Lorelei, fairest of flowers that bloom in the forest. So that was weird.
And he must have been the only one that didn't realize just how creepy it was.
I mean, I did have to block him from Facebook chat.
There is always that one guy, really strange, who just doesn't know how to handle himself around women.
Well, Matt, Sir Guy, I mean, you know, he was a piece of dog shit, is basically what it was. He shouldn't have been in the show. I only casted him because he was a writer's friend. Shouldn't have done it. And he was a worthless piece of crap that never came to a rehearsal and thought he was good, which I can't imagine how he could have thought that, but never learned his lines, never learned his songs, refused to wear the costume he was provided. Really, he was the worst conceivable thing you could imagine being in a show.
The so-called Sir Guy never ever shows up for rehearsals. Robin Hood met him the first time, like just a day ago, and he's just never here for anything. Obviously, it's our final dress tag, and where is he? Who knows? Hopefully, he'll show up for the show.
This is a full dress tech run-through. So what that means is we're going to do it as show quality as much as we possibly can. We are still missing a few key primary actors. We're missing Sir Guy, but we can't wait any longer. So we're going to have a couple people read for their lines.
Sir Guy didn't show up today, so he's not here, so I had to read for him.
All right, guys, places. We're going to play the music in 3 minutes.
Ryan, no, my reason for BFing late.
Okay. I know he's going to be late, but what are we going to do? I mean, he's the most...
He said to tell you.
He knows his lines the least.
He has not been showing up a lot generally, so... And he doesn't know his lines, so I'm a little nervous about that.
He has a lot of lines. He has an entire monologue at the start of Act 2. Who knows how that's going to go anyway. Maybe he doesn't even know those lines.
I am nervous about the scenes that I have with Sir Guy, just because we haven't really gone over our blocking, and he's not here again, so that's a little nerve-wracking. Sir Guy has one more rehearsal to get it all down.
If he doesn't show up, we're screwed. We're screwed.
Did anybody see Sir Guy yet?
Guy's in the next dressing room.
Oh, okay. Oh, there he is. Okay, so you already got your outfit. Okay, so you look
I
good.
didn't have nothing else. So
I do have some stuff. I do have some stuff.
Oh, nice of you to let me know about it.
Okay. All right.
Tell me the day of. Oh, I got some stuff. Oh, great. Bring my stuff. But yeah, now I got some stuff. Chris.
It doesn't make sense to have an argument about it now. There was plenty of times we did do it, but you weren't here for those rehearsals.
Right, yes. I just work here.
All right, well then, sounds like you're good to go, so I'll move on to better things.
Let's do that.
Sounds like a plan. Chris, you said you got some wigs in here?
I only missed two, so there must have been the two big ones.
Sir Guy reads very well, but his Brooklyn accent really doesn't work that well for the character of Sir Guy.
Ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
Fucking asshole out there. Does he think he is? I'm gonna go over it right now. I gotta make sure this is right. Yes, we will see who will be your proper lord. You will have it, master. All right, enough of this. Lady Marion, you are arrested right here and now.
Is that treason still on the books, sir?
Good idea. It most certainly is. Let's throw her in the jail for treason.
You're a freaking actor. You memorize lines. That's what we do.
King Richard. Yeah, he's the one that saves Robin Hood at the end, and the actor that we had play him, was a last-minute fill-in. And, we were desperate at this point, so I said, hey, anybody know a friend? We need somebody to fill that part. So they got a friend in, and he did an admirable job, I guess. But his singing was... Cat being thrown into a wood chipper?
suck. At least I hope it doesn't suck too bad.
So the kids backstage just sometimes go nuts. They just go crazy.
Those acting kids have ADD backstage and they hang on you constantly.
I love kids. And as all children do, they say some of the strangest things.
Okay, what do you guys think of the Riddlesbrood Touring Theater Company?
Well, it's just fun. I like to do lots of shows here at the Strand, and it's just fun. I get to go, and my grandma and Aunt Jen are gonna come out to see my show, and I even got my foam birdie in my costume. Yeah, it's foam.
It's foam?
I can already tell because I can just feel it.
Have you guys been acting long?
Yeah. Yeah.
How old were you when you started acting?
8.
And how old are you now?
9.
Ryan is nice when there's not shit, but he's a little tense when there is.
Well, because we made some cuts to songs, and I gave Ryan a CD with all the official cuts on Thursday, and I realized driving over that if for whatever reason he confused it with another CD or something, it would be wrong, and I was like, I should have brought a spare in case something would have happened, and I didn't think about bringing a spare.
We have all of the sound effects now and all the musical cues in there. You may notice some sounds happening where normally you did not hear that before. Do not be alarmed.
It won't be this loud when they're saying their lines, right? Because it gets louder.
No, this won't be this song. We're gonna have the harp music when they say their lines, right?
I guess. I don't know. I haven't gotten any fairy music yet.
Okay, I hope he has all the right tracks.
That's all I need.
I was having major anxiety about that on the way over, actually.
I said, because I found the chain link. Okay. And everything
Is it the CD for the show?
It's in there.
Okay. Is it the one Lori gave you yesterday?
Yes, it is.
Because the very first track is supposed to be used for the first fairy scene.
Okay, the first track is like the Riddlesbrood song.
That's all we have right now.
Okay, well, I'll play that, but that's a little unusual.
Everything good with the music, like the copies that I gave you?
Everything was good. I mean, obviously, I couldn't tell whether or not the cut was there or not cut.
A bird. I should have brought in an extra CD.
In Hood, there were a lot of things that were going wrong, and I swear this was just another one of those shows that, we shouldn't be doing. Things were just constantly getting broken, and people were really screwing up.
I'm not down the tree, man. Give me that. You took my stick. You're too dangerous with it. Can I have it back, please? Yes, but leave my woods alone. Fair enough. Out with him! Whoa! Out! Put up your swords! Put up your swords! He has his work to do. We will overcome all of this.
Master, they set a trap for you.
So during our show Robin Hood, there was a lot of fighting, a lot of combat on and off stage too. But during one of the sword fights, I had no idea what actually happened at first. I just remember her standing there, not moving, and I was wondering what happened. I can't believe it just completely broke off the sword. Just the whole tip gone. Whoosh, one swipe, there it goes. She was completely frozen in disbelief. Yeah, so that was crazy. I can't believe that happened. I'm so glad it didn't happen during a show. Who knows where the actual piece of the sword ended up.
When the sword broke, it scared me a little bit. I wasn't sure who was going to get hit with it. And then it scared me more later, thinking it might go into the audience. And if it might happen again, what should I do?
The show's over! You're out!
And first blow, I split her sword right in half.
What did you do to my sword? I don't know what it's doing!
wise for that to happen.
There were actors that can't find things.
Colin. You know the box, right?
Yeah, I know. There's no sack though.
Yeah, there's no sack. Just forget the sack.
Oh wait, is this it?
No, that's for somebody else.
Okay. I'll take some else.
Don't touch somebody else's sack.
Unless they ask.
Live in love again here? I don't know what happened in the medieval show, if the costume got put in a different bag. No, it's here. It's here somewhere in the building. It's just somebody misplaced it. Say the bag is there, and it's got the chain link thing. We had it in the hallway. Actually, Cheryl might have it on her table.
Actors that just don't know their lines.
I'm much afraid that you do tell a lie.
Aha! Outlaws!
Oh, spare us.
Oh, spare us!
And then lots of actors that just don't know when to go on and off stage.
Where are you, peasant? Get out here! Jeff, you're supposed to be out here.
Sorry, I thought I was supposed to be dragged out here.
Nope, you're out here already.
I think we're supposed to be out there. It's up to you. Too late now.
When it comes to talent, you either have it or you don't.
Well, you know, we put in like 3 months of work into this show at their request. It wasn't something that we asked them to do. They wanted us to do this show for the kids, and we did it. And, you know, as it's getting closer and closer, they're not signing a contract. And eventually they're telling me that they might not even pay me. So I told them, I said, well, we might have to cancel this whole damn fucking thing. We were 20 minutes before opening that show, and we still did not have a check. If they didn't bring us a check, that show would not have happened.
Did you get paid yet?
No, not yet.
So, 20 minutes before showtime, we don't have a check. And Ryan is trying to hold down the fort on stage. He's trying to do everything that nobody else is doing. He's doing all of the tech, so he's basically the tech director. He's directing everybody. He's acting in the show. He's also doing a lot of the light rigging, and he's manning the curtains. He's doing everything for this freaking show. And I'm having to run out during their break 20 minutes before the show to go and get the check, which hopefully they have, or else they're not going to be doing the show. Okay, so I'm here right now at Lakewood. I'm about to go see if we're doing a show today. I guess I'm going to find out if we get our check or not. So, hope we get our check. Let's go and find out.
Sometimes you work for love, sometimes you work for money. So take the money and run.
After all that crap we went through in Robin Hood, I have to say that the show wasn't that bad. And we live to fight another day.
How did it go? Oh, good. After all said and done, I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it.
Theater is a war, and you're trying to gain as much applause as you can. And it doesn't matter how you do it.